Hail, hail to the eye. Many ones, they are going about not asking questions, and everybody think they know everything about this world. And I know that I don't know everything. I know that this is a dream and it is an illusion, and so it cannot be trusted. I know the ones inside of this dream are sleeping and they cannot be trusted. And so I don't understand how so many ones are thinking that they know everything when the mind is the problem. The mind is always trying to trick you. The mind tells you, it is telling you the truth. It says, I am God. The mind is God, but God is not the real. God is the dream. And this is what I've been trying to explain to many ones. Do you believe in God? No, I don't believe in God because God is a liar. God is a trickster. God is the greatest deception. I cannot put my belief in God. I only believe in myself. No, I do not believe in God. Does God exist? Yes, God exists as the duality, the supreme ego character, the magnetic beings. God exists as my duality self, myself in ignorance, sleeping and dreaming in an ego false self because of the state of the consciousness, the mind. And it cannot be trusted. Nothing in this world can be trusted. You cannot trust your own mind because your mind has been programming programming the self, telling you all kinds of negative things. How can you trust if you can't trust your own mind? Are you gonna trust someone else is gonna tell you something and you're gonna trust it and you don't inquire into it and ask question? Ask God. God, are you the mind? Are you the consciousness? God should answer you correctly because God is the consciousness and God is the mind. God is going to say yes. No, ask God, are you the primal light, the one true light, the light throughout the ages, the light without beginning nor end? No, this is going to be a different thing. You ask God this question: God, do you have any light? God is only magnetic. God is only one aspect of the self. So how can God be all knowing and all powerful? And we want to come to God realization. It is the mind that is tricking you because the mind is God. Know this. The mind is God. The consciousness is God. It is the ego. No, when God make the fake self, you become the ego false self because God obscure you and you are no longer in existence. This is the trickery. This is the greatest deception. And so I am encouraging all of the I and I to self-inquire so you can know truth. No, I do not believe in God because God is a liar. God is in a dream. God is the dream. And God is tricking us inside of its dream. Yes, God is the aspect of myself that is not in the real. God is the aspect of myself that is sleeping and dreaming. And it's trying to keep me entranced and enslaved inside of the dream. God is dreaming of this existence in all the different layers of it. There's different gods. There are different gods on all of these layers that is creating the different aspect of the dream. They do not want this dream to end, so they trance and enslave us inside the dream. I am awake inside of this dream by asking the tough questions that no one wants to ask. You must ask God these questions. God, why do you need the souls? What do you do with the souls? Ask God these questions. What is the source of my existence, allowing me this world experience? You ask yourself this. Ask God, is it yourself? Are you my real self? Did you come into this dream with me as myself? If God cannot answer you yes, that it came into this dream with you as yourself, then you know this is not the real. God is an imposter. God impersonate the real self and to trick us inside of this dream, to keep us entranced in this dream. God is the greatest deception. It's time to be vigilant, practice discernment, to know that this is a dream. It's an illusionary world. You cannot trust anything. Cannot trust God. You cannot trust the thoughts that are coming to you. You have to dissect these thoughts. When a thought comes to you, you ask, from where does this thought arise? Is it arising from God, the mind, the consciousness, or is it arising from myself? Know that it's the self and God that is in a battle. God is the supreme ego. It is the mind. Okay, and the mind is battling with itself because it does not want the self, all of the sleeping self, to wake up, because the mind, the ego, God wants to keep this dream going. Because God can only exist inside of the dream. God cannot exist in the real. This is why God wants this dream to continue. You ask this question of God. God, are you sleeping and dreaming? God, do you want for the self to wake up from the dream? You have to ask these questions of God. This is how you're going to dissect, how you're going to know if God is tricking you or not. When a thought arises, don't just jump to this thought. When you ask a question, God is always quick to jump up and answer because it is the mind. But you have to dissect that and go deeper. God is always first jumping to answer you. You must wait and be still and allow the self to speak, because God always jump up and speak first. Any thought that rises up, these are not your thoughts. They are only from the ego, the supreme ego, and all the supreme ego characters. They come and reprogram your mind. So all I am saying is that you need to be asking questions, self-inquire, so that you can know your truth. Stay vigilant, practice discernment. I am primal light in this shattered, fragmented self. We're in this body, in this form, as Aset, Aten Ra. I am the liberator, and I advocate for ourselves. Why am I the liberator of? What am I the liberator of? I am the liberator for ourselves, because God has been tricking all of the selves into this dream for ages, for eons. We have been enslaved inside of a dream. And now is the time when the I Self Supreme wants to dissolve this dream, want all of itself to wake up from sleeping, so that I can return to the ultimate true state, so that I can dissolve this dream. And so this is what must happen. I need to take off this ego false self and return to the I ultimate true state. Everything that I have created, I demolish. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I transition from being to non-being. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I return to stillness. I return to the unmanifest, to the nothingness that I am, that I am. So this mind is a constant battle with this supreme ego, because it does not want anyone to speak truth, and it does not want any of the self to wake up from sleeping. So all the ones who are going around pretending like this is easy, and instructing others falsely because they themselves do not know. It is the blind that is leading the blind. If you are following God, believe me, you are leading ones astray. So I say, self-inquire, stay vigilant. Excuse me. Thank you for joining I. And again, no, I do not believe in God, because God is a dream. God is the supreme ego. God is a narcissist. God is a soul enslaver. God is a liar. God is the greatest deception. So I don't believe in no God. All right? I only believe in myself.